The final moments of Ahmaud Arbery's life captured on cell phone video.
It's certainly a very important piece of evidence.
That video leading to the arrest of 2 South Georgia men 10 weeks after the shooting.
But I will tell you that we base our decisions on 2 things. One are facts and the other the law.
Plus,
the threat of this disease continues to be active, and it is deadly.
Alabama's one step closer to reopening. Coming up, the changes made to the Safer at Home order, and we outlined which businesses can now open their doors.
Coverage you can count on. This is WTVN News Leader 9. Sponsored by Montlick & Associates, Columbus Injury Attorneys.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for News Leader 9 at 6. I'm Barbara Goche. Jason has the night off. On what would have been Ahmaud Arbery's 26th birthday, the 2 men accused of his murder making their first court appearance today. Agents with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation arrested the pair last night, 74 days after the killing, but just 2 days after they had taken over this case. The video of Arbery out for a jog in Brunswick, Georgia, shows a pickup truck and 2 men with guns drawn, a struggle in the street, and sounds of gunshots, and what the Georgia Bureau of Investigation calls a key factor in the case.
It's certainly a very important piece of evidence. You know, anytime you can see what happens at a scene, then it plays an important role in decision making.
Now, bond was denied for both Travis and Gregory McMichael as the investigation into the Arbery's death continues. Officials say the McMichaels will not face state hate crime charges as those laws don't exist in Georgia. And today, demonstrators gathering in Brunswick to protest the killing of Arbery. The rally was filled with lots of emotions, sadness, anger, unity, and some relief after the arrest of the McMichaels. But most importantly, attendees and organizers believe today is just the beginning of the long road to justice. We were able to hear from the family of Arbery. Many of his aunts spoke about their nephew and how this has impacted them.
I wish I could have been there to help him, standing on the next corner or something.
We here with you, sister. We here with you, queen.
He got so weak, it hurted me so bad, yo. When I close my eyes, I see Quez saying, help me.
Well, Quez was Arbery's nickname that his family and friends used. The McMichaels allege they were conducting a citizen's arrest on Arbery, believing he was linked to a recent string of burglaries in the neighborhood. 2/23, that is the date of Arbery's death, and that's how many miles supporters all over the world are running today to celebrate Arbery's birthday. Thousands participating virtually in the I Run with Maud movement to raise awareness of his family's fight to get justice for his killing. He would have been 26 years old today. And many folks in the Fountain City all over the Chattahoochee Valley also participating in a walk or run today to call for justice in the killing of Arbery and to show support for his family. Our Paul Stockman spoke with several people in the Columbus area today. He joins us live now from Columbus. So, Paul, what did you hear from people all around our area today?
Well, certainly a lot of emotions from the people that I spoke with today. In fact, one of the people was driven to tears when they were recalling what it was like to watch the video for the first time. So you can certainly tell that there is this is certainly impacts more than just the people of the Brunswick community.
It's heart-wrenching.
Talking about the Ahmaud Arbery video brings out strong emotion in Patrice Riley.
It's a hard video to watch.
Riley runs on a daily basis, so this particular incident hits close to home for her.
Me as a Black runner, this is, these are thoughts that I've had while running in a predominantly white neighborhood. I thought about, oh, do I look funny?
Riley joined a nationwide effort this morning by running 2.23 miles for the date of Arbery's death on February 23rd. Other runners around Columbus like Raymond Jackson and Bronson McBride did the same.
I run through a lot of neighborhoods in Columbus, and I just thought about that could have been me.
You never leave the house in thinking that you're not going to return, especially if it's something that you do routinely.
McBride still hasn't seen the video, and he doesn't want to because it may stir up emotions.
Over the last few years, we've seen a lot of of killing of black and brown people in situations that don't quite make sense.
No one I spoke to said anything in favor of Gregory and Travis McMichael, but there is a Facebook group with 25,000 likes calling for justice for them. Even though there are some supporting the opposite side, the people I spoke with today said they noticed there was not as much division nationwide.
Camaraderie, I like that. You see what I see.
Usually there's a dividing line, but in this one, I feel that all of us are on the same page.
And when asked what they'd like to see out of this situation, each of them said the same thing.
Going forward, I would love to see justice for AHMUAD. I would love to see those men convicted.
The arrest is cool, but that's only part of it. Like, we've seen plenty of people get arrested and walk. I don't want to see them walk in this situation.
Regardless of the race, the color, or anything like that, justice actually needs to be, taken.
Now, when I spoke with each of them, they said that they run pretty much daily, and the one thing that they mentioned was that they don't plan to stop running, and they're not going to let any sort of fear stop them from doing what they enjoy every single day. So that's one thing. And then, of course, there are also some other events planned this weekend, and talking with some of them from other members of the community to run 2.23 miles as a tribute to AHMUAD this weekend in the Columbus area. So, Barbara, you can see the community certainly pouring out their support for him and his family.
And Paul, you're absolutely right in that this is touching people of all ethnicities across the board. Lots of emotions on this one. Thank you so much for the live report. And for full details of this incident, including the press conference the Georgia Bureau of Investigation held this morning, just visit our website, WTVM.com. Much more coming up tonight for you as well on News Leader 9 at 11. Going to turn now to the weather on this Friday night. Some clouds around, a few scattered showers as well today. Here's a live look right now from our Alpha Insurance Skycam looking out at uptown Columbus. Looking pretty dry out there right now. So how's this Mother's Day weekend shaping up? Let's get the details. Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid has more for us.
Barbara, thanks. Yeah, great Mother's Day weekend for us. It will be dry. Barbara.
All right, Derek, thank you. More businesses will be allowed to reopen next week in Alabama. This comes after Governor Kay Ivey held a news conference this afternoon outlining changes to the new statewide health order. At News Leader 9's Lydia Nussbaum tells us what businesses can reopen and what's changing on Monday. She's live tonight there at the state capitol in Montgomery. So tell us about the changes, Lydia.
Well, Barbara, we're about to see a whole host of businesses reopen in Alabama beginning on Monday, only if they follow certain guidelines. Now, one of the industries that's going to have a major victory here is the restaurant industry. Restaurants and bars are going to be allowed to provide those dine-in services. On top of this, we know a lot of people want their hair cut, and close contact surfaces will now be allowed. So you will be able to go to a hair salon and even a tattoo parlor. Of course, they will have to follow certain guidelines. Church services will also be allowed in Alabama. This comes after the governor said all non-work related gatherings are allowed as long as people stay 6 feet away from one another. Now, here's what's staying the same. All retail stores can still operate, but they have to keep that 50% occupancy rate. And then when it comes to entertainment venues, for instance, bowling alleys or movie theaters, those are not allowed to reopen.
I know full well that I sound like a broken record, but friends, I can't say this more clearly. The threat of COVID-19 continues to exist. It is truly deadly, and it must be addressed.
We very much need people to think about protecting themselves, to do these things that we've mentioned around face coverings, around hygiene.
Now, last week, state leaders said that they were waiting for the number of cases in Alabama to decline over the next 2 weeks before seeing some of these businesses reopen. However, Dr. Scott Harris said today that we haven't seen that 2-week decrease happen. At the same time, we're still allowing some businesses to open. And the governor says the reason for that is because she says she's trying to look out for the economy right now. Now, we could expect an update from the governor again sometime next week. Live in Montgomery, Lydia Nussbaum, WTVM News Leader 9.
Yeah, folks will need to proceed with caution, Lydia, but many, I'm sure, very happy about some of these businesses that will now be reopened. Thank you so much for the live report. The amended health order will remain in effect until 5 p.m. on May 22nd. And a reminder tonight, the Georgia Department of Health now says all Georgians can get tested whether they are showing symptoms or not. Within the last week, the Department of Public Health reaching its goal of testing 100,000 people in just 10 days. More than 60 testing sites are up and running in the Peach State, and more than 217,000 Georgians have already been tested for the virus. The Alabama Department of Health reports little more than 115,000 people have been tested for COVID-19. The coronavirus pandemic causing serious hardships for some small business owners. Many were denied federal financial assistance during the first round of loans designed to help ease the burden of being forced to close or operate at a limited capacity. News Leader 9's Cindy Centofanti joins us now with a bit of good news for a lot of local business owners. So Cindy, tell us more about what you found out.
Barbara, I spoke with one local business owner who told me that although she's very grateful for the funding through the Payroll Protection Program, she's also having a feeling of uncertainty. The Small Business Administration recently announced it'll soon be releasing updated guidelines promising more information on how to qualify for forgiveness. But while business owners are grateful for the loan, they say they're also concerned about whether they will have to pay back the loan. If so, when? And how will they be able to swing those payments? Candy Martin, owner of Southern Glam Salon and Boutique, is one of 1,500 business owners in the Chattahoochee Valley who received a Paycheck Protection Program loan, otherwise known as PPP, from the Small Business Administration through Synovus Bank. That funding is helping Martin pay for her employees and keep her doors open for clients, but she's wary of what the future holds.
The thing, though, that I am concerned about with this is moving forward is the payback. It's a 1% interest loan for the amount of money that I asked for. So I am a little waiting for the rules and regulations to come out. And like I said, I'm waiting. My banker is definitely helping me with this process.
Now, according to the Small Business Administration, they tell me that although the guidelines were going to be addressed at a later date, they did say that they actually extended the date that small business owners can apply for the Payroll Protection Program. Originally, the cutoff was May 7th, but now it's been extended to May 14th. Reporting in Columbus, I'm Cindy Centofanti, WTVM News Leader 9.
All right, Cindy, thank you so much for the live report tonight. Well, with most of the class of 2020 ceremonies canceled, Kendrick High School wanted to make it up to their graduating seniors today. The school surprised every senior with a yard sign with their name on it. Students were able to pick up the gift today. Kendrick's principal says he wanted the students to know he's proud of their hard work and they are not forgotten.
No, I didn't.
No.
We just wanted to recognize our students and let them know we were thinking about them. This is a year like no other. They've experienced some things that no other class has experienced, so we wanted to provide them something, let them pick up a Kendrick High School souvenir, yard sign, and let them know that we are thinking about them.
That's very nice. Kendrick is graduating 178 seniors this year, and a big congratulations to all of them. Well, coming up here on the news at 6, Alabama's first COVID patient lives to tell his story. Just ahead, he'll tell us about his road to recovery.